As Christians, evil initiation is against biblical principle. The Bible tells us in 1 Corinthians 10 verse 21 that you cannot drink at the same time from the cup of the Lord and from the cup of demons. You cannot partake in the table of the Lord and in the table of demons. In summary, as a practicing Christian, you are not allowed to be involved in anything evil practices. However, some people were born into traditional religion where pagan practice is the order. In these families, they safeguard their evil practices like treasure with hope to pass it from generation to generation through evil initiation, while others are not born into the family but can be recruited through this initiation to continue the practice. The process of initiation can be at birth, in which situation the victim does not have power to give consent while others are initiated at a later age with full consent. This is the reason why we have to be careful as Christian with tradition rituals and initiations. In this video, I am going to share a true life testimony of John, a Kenyan man who was initiated into a family pagan practice and was later through his encounter with Jesus Christ. Sit back and listen to John's testimony. There is a lot to learn from it. Please, if you are watching and haven't subscribed, kindly hit the subscribe button, like, and share this video. God bless you as you do this.
To hear your story.
Yeah, okay. I want to begin somewhere because I'm born in Makueni, as I've said. And I'm born in a family of 6. I'm the second born.
Okay.
We are 3 men and 3 women. I call them that because we all of us mature.
Okay.
We all of us having families by grace of God. So I'm born in a family that has a very hard story, which I've come to share. And I know we are going to learn a lot of things. A place where my grandfather was a high priest in the world of darkness.
Okay.
So he was a great man in the world of darkness. If it's today, he would be called a grandmaster in some parts which understand these terms. He was a high priest because to a point where, something happened when I was born. Because I think we are all of us born at home. We are not born in hospital.
Okay.
Where my grandmother and the midwives, those are the traditional ones, they are the one who ushered the newborns. So on that day when I was born, the name Mutuko means I was born at night.
Okay.
So on that night when I was born, something happened that before my mother breastfed me, it is my grandmother who did first.
Okay.
Because she had, my grandfather who died in 1975, when my father was young, was a youth, had told the wife that one day I will live again through my generations, and mostly in my grandsons. And I will let you know when I'm born. So when I was born, my grandmother said she heard a voice that this is now the husband. That's not my grandfather. So, and she had been ordered that right after birth, that she should breastfeed me before my mother. That was a point of covenant and a confirmation that this is my husband. And then later from there, my mother took care of me. I began growing. But as early as 1.5 years old, my grandmother claimed that I should live with her. So my mother had to stop breastfeeding me and take me over and stay with me. Sorry. So there are things that happened after that. I began staying with my grandmother. So when I continued growing, staying with my grandmother, although in the same homestead, but the grandmother lived in our own house. My mother and my father lived on the other home with my elder brother. And there was my uncle, that was the last born of my father's house. Oh, that's my grandfather's house. So I stayed with her, but something also began happening with my life after some time. One of these that I remember very well is when it came time for circumcision. In that time, I think I was around 9 years old. I was circumcised in the traditional way. where you have a man who comes and circumcises the boys in the village.
Mm.
And he comes with a sharp knife and all that.
Wow.
So my grandmother asked for the foreskin
Oh.
of my flesh.
Uh-huh.
She ordered that she need that flesh.
Mm.
I didn't know what was happening because we thought life is just normal. And that's why we say life is spiritual. There are things that happen in our lives,
Yes.
and we may not know what they mean tomorrow. Or maybe before it gets too late, it's good to get to know these things.
Yes.
So, you know what happens in Exodus chapter 4. Exodus chapter 4, when Zipporah, the wife of Moses, cut the foreskin of the son
Yes.
to save the husband.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, as a point of conduct and the shedding of the blood for confirmation of our covenant.
Right.
And the words that she spoke is what brought Moses to life. God himself almost killed him.
Right.
So now, when my foreskin was taken, some things began to happen in my life. I began hearing some voices because now by then I'm living with my grandmother. I'm going to school as usual, but I'm staying with her. So there are things that began to happen with my life. There was this, the Kilume dance. There's this Kilume dance that is a traditional dance or kind of service that is done in traditional areas. By then it was a very serious one because they used to do that before this circumcision. I could not understand the languages they would speak because they would be filled with the evil spirits. Those who are playing the music, who are doing the service. Then they will begin speaking in some tongues that I don't understand. But after my foreskin was taken to my grandmother after circumcision, I began understanding. I could even get into it. In fact, they began coaching me and training me on how to beat the drums, to be part of the service. People get impacted with that spirit and to a point where somebody can even eat grass and they are okay. They can chew stones because they're in another world.
Right.
I think that's the first time when I saw demons. I began seeing demons, how they look like. And some of them were beings that are very tall with double hands, with many fingers, and some of them have faces that are scaring. And they could not go straight, they would just go like a wind or something. I could see them because there's something that my grandmother was leading me into.
Right.
Because my grandfather was a high priest. I'll come to a point to explain how I was being tapped into this. So other times also I would hear some voice calling me when I'm staying with my grandmother at night. Voice calling me into that because my grandfather was one of the founders of that shrine, of that stronghold.
Okay.
So now they were looking for a descendant from my grandfather who would replace him because there was a special seat for him that he had to sit, or one of his descendants who has been accepted by the gods of the world rulers of darkness in that region.
Right.
That I would replace him or be there for him. So a voice would call me and tell me, you are needed. Then I would just get out. My grandmother would not hear me that I have walked out. I would go out and go to the place, and when I begin walking there, I can see everything. It's at night, it's dark. And I grew like a boy who never fears darkness. That's one thing that my mother noticed, that I don't fear darkness. And I had that ability to see things even in darkness. So now I would walk and go to the shrine, to the stronghold. When I get there, I would hear some voices, funny voices and all that. Then there is a first place when you enter there, you must get into. There's a big pot that is full of blood and some other things, and they are rolling like they are alive or whatever. So you need to dip. A voice is telling me, dip your finger there and lick that which is in the pot. And when you have done that, that is like now your gate pass into the shrine. So you are now logging in.
Right.
Yeah. So demonically you are. So when I get there, I find these odd men. One of them was an odd man that I knew, but he died a long time ago. And I was like, he died like 5 years ago or that, or some years back. And I found him there seated. And some others, there were like 7, but there were around 6. So I was to replace my grandfather. And when they see me, they cheer me up that, oh, welcome. Mutuango, that's what the name of my grandfather.
Right.
They are calling me Mutuango grandson. You are welcome to this kingdom. We accept you and we want to continue with you. There are things we must show you.
Okay.
So you can continue and take me to the pillars of the strongholds. There are like 7 poles there. And these 7 poles, they have been tied by different colored cloths. One is tied white, the other one is black, the other one is white, the other one is blue, the other one is yellow, the other one is green. There were 7 of them. He woke up well. So I went back home. I would stay there. And now I remember in 1996, this uncle of mine died. When he died, in the ordinances of our tradition, is that when a son dies, it is the father who shows where this one should be buried. And it is the father who is the first one to dig the first hit on the ground. So my grandmother sent for me to come and show where it was. In fact, I went there on a Friday so that it would be buried on a Saturday, to show those who are waking early on Saturday to dig the grave. So and the elders are there. My father is there. My uncle is there. Aunties have come because they are born 7. So I did that. So in the following day, that's the Saturday, the burial was done. Then from there was a ceremonial service that was organized by my grandmother, so that I can now be consecrated into now full action or full capacity to replace or to take position of my grandfather. Remember, this man was a high priest in darkness. In fact, let me say it this way so that people can understand. I have asked my father many times, even my uncles and my aunties, they don't know any brother of my grandfather. They don't know even any parent of him. He's another Melchizedek, a man who came from nowhere. In fact, the way my grandmother got married, she met this man in town, in the marketplace. And he said he's walking the same route. And that's how she found herself in the homestead of this man. So she never knew until her death. She never knew any brother, any sister, any relative. So our generation, we know from the beginning. We know from our grandfather coming this way. We don't know anybody else.
He had no relatives, no known relatives.
He didn't have any.
He must have been alive during those days of colonialism. Was he one of the ones that had a license to practice witchcraft?
Yeah, that man, he was because this is something, according to my grandmother, is that this thing, he was born with it. It was not given, he did not buy or even given. And you see, and here. So now I'm inheriting, I'm being formed I'm being formed, and they are trying to lead me to inherit this kind of priesthood, which is a